everybody. Welcome back to week 3 of our video blog here at Structure M. I have the lovely Danielle joining us. Hi, Danielle. Are you doing good today?
Yeah, I am. Thank you.
Good, good. Well, if it's okay with you, can we go ahead and jump into our question of the week for you for brand awareness?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So this one, this is really like one of those, just spit out whatever you think when you hear this question. So,
Okay.
what are some quick tips and tricks to increase brand awareness right away that just give some quick wins?
Yeah, so you got to just think community. Like, how can you get yourself out there in front of as many people? And so, one way that I think is amazing is I've seen it happen where people have gone on news interviews, they've done other podcasts with other people. And the great thing about like things like that is that you get to take advantage, like what we talked about last week, of other people's audiences as well. And so, especially if they line up, that's a great partnership where you could, your local news, if they're having some type of interview, if there's a way that you can connect with them, that would be huge. And then also just advertise everywhere. Put it on your cars. If you want to do some billboards, like you want to get your name and logo in front of people as much as possible. You just want them to see you. And I know that some people, they think, this might be too much. I don't want to annoy them. But really, the brands that you remember are the ones that you see. And people aren't going to be thinking about you unless you put yourself in front of them to think about. So I say just put your logo everywhere. And another thing that you could do is, and this might have more to do with as you're building a company and trying to really brand yourself, but choosing an image or a symbol that could really represent who you are and what you do well, and making it kind of distinguished where it doesn't necessarily look like just somebody else. That way, when people see that logo, see that image, they instantly can think of your brand, and they don't have to dig deeper and try to figure out who you are, what you do, or if you put that image and symbol out enough, then people might, when they just see that image or symbol, they would just instantly connect it to you, and that's the same as another, ad that you're telling them who you are. And then you could also have a really catchy slogan. I know that those work really well, like with radio, or if you have it on that billboard or on your website, being able just to have that quick little catchy slogan where if somebody hears that, they instantly think of you guys. That's another way that you can do that. And then as far as content goes, like being able to be seen as authority, I know that I've said that a lot over the last couple of weeks, but just being seen as knowledgeable and trustworthy. And a lot of that has to do with putting out relevant content that has to do with what people in your area and interested in your services or products might be looking up. So that's something too that you can keep in mind, just constantly putting out relevant content for people to find. And then I think it's also important to have an entry level for people to work with you. And so whether that be a free product that is, like a sample, or whether it be you're giving out, hey, free quotes, there's no catch, there's nothing really on the line, but we just want to work with you. We want to introduce you to us. And so I've seen a lot of people really take advantage of that free quotes already. But again, that's building that entryway into the brand awareness where people can just trust your brand and know that you guys are what you're about. And then I think my last thing would really just be like sponsored events. You could do like have a booth at a fair. You could go to a festival, a concert, have your big poster places. You could think of sports team. You could sponsor some jerseys. You could even just have a little section at like a high school your local high school graduations yearbook. Like there's so many ways that you can really just thinking of being community minded. How can you get your brand and your logo and who you are, your slogan out there for people to see and be met with on a constant basis? And so
while you were talking, I thought of another one that I have seen people
What?
use recently that was like really smart. What they did was they were big on, it was a younger person's product and they were trying to sell it. And it was brand new on the market. Nobody really knew of them. So what they did is they sent like their product in a gift box to specific influencers that were in their related field, right? And so they said, we wanted to give you this free gift. Can you just tag us in your Insta story, you know, that you got it and your thoughts about it or whatever. And so that was a way for them to capture the audience that the other person had, right? And get some quick
Yeah.
brand awareness. And I think even in their giving of that product to the person, and in a little gift box idea, they put a little note, can you please tag us? And so they made it very specific, like, can you do this for us? We're giving you something. It's like that whole free offer thing, but you were actually approaching the people that you wanted to share
Yeah.
your product versus having them come to you for the free offer. You said, here's my free offer. And, tag me on Instagram. So that was like another really cool way that I saw somebody do something as well. And then
Yeah, and
like, well,
that's
go ahead,
huge.
speak to that.
No, that's huge because I've seen even around town and different communities, they'll have even local influencers. And if you can, I
Yep.
mean, that's a whole, you got to kind of get to know that community and figure it out. But there's business to business connections that you can make and really make some really strategic but effective partnerships there for sure.
And I really like the idea of what you said about community because in, you know, 20, 30 years ago, before you had, social media and the web and everything that was, working as well for you, people got to be a part of the Chamber of Commerce. They got to know the people that they worked in. And
Yeah.
so there's new methods that capture that same idea of community of like what you're saying to get some really quick wins. I know even, for example, where I live, we have a community Facebook page that posts about all the new businesses that are opening or, events that are happening, something good that happened in the community or something that people need to be aware of with the weather. And if you can find, like you said, those community, like I forget what you call it, basically like this is the main street, this is what's happening. If you can
Yeah.
get in the platforms, and sometimes those platforms are free and sometimes it's like a low barrier to entry, $100 and you got a post on our thing,
Hmm.
but it could be a post that reaches 50,000 people about your brand. I've seen lots of restaurants and new stores do that, in my local community for brand awareness for their new places of business. So that's another thing that you can think about when you're a quick win to get some brand awareness in front of people. In addition to what you already mentioned, that's just what came to my mind. But
Yeah, no, that's great. Again, there's no real wrong way to do this. You just want
right,
to reach as many
yeah,
people as possible.
yeah, get creative. You can do it, small business owners. You can do it. And I
Yes.
think even the more creative you get, the more you stand out. So, there's something to be said. And there's always like new ways of doing things, new ways of communicating, and
Mhm.
fun things like that. So don't don't shy away from trying new things. Just step out and do it, and it'll probably benefit you in the long run. I would dare say. So, thank you,
Yeah.
Danielle, for helping us come up with some quick wins for increasing brand awareness in our places of business for our products and services. Make sure, everybody, that you join us next week for our final week talking all about brand awareness. We'll see y'all next week. Bye bye.